Hey guys, coming at you from my pickup truck. I am in downtown Brunswick. Most of you, you know that I'm in Maine, based in Maine, and just spent the day actually at the cafe doing a little more writing. We got a coffee shop that's open here in town, letting people sit indoors. It's a great thing. And I just wanted to share a couple things that were really practical about my week. The tasks of my week, they vary from counseling. It's one of those things. It's funny to be asked by somebody, especially like in a barber chair when I'm sitting getting my hair cut, and somebody goes, so what do you got, they know I'm a pastor, and they're like, so what do you got planned for the day? You always feel a little bit like, well, I'm going to go study the Bible. I of course try to be honest about it, but to somebody outside of, church life and things, that doesn't make sense. That's not a worthy task to just, do that for your job. It's certainly not all that I do. I spend a certain amount of time studying scripture and getting ready to prepare and feed the flock that God has allowed me to pastor. But my week is filled with counseling. It's most of what I'm doing is relationship oriented. I want to be with people. I want to be around people. Kind of stinks for a pandemic, right? But we're pushing through. And so my week goes from, like I said, studying to relationship building to discipleship, prayer, personal time, sometimes evangelism. We've been doing a lot of stuff with in front of Planned Parenthood with our church lately. But this is something that I noticed this week that I want to share with you. You don't have to be a pastor to do this. You just have to be available, be open, be intentional about interacting with people. Several times this week, just by being available, by choosing to walk into places where people are, God has opened doors to meet new people, build new relationships, pray for people that I've met for the first time on the spot, and just be an example, being a light, be an encouragement to others. And then God has used those things to build my faith in the midst of a somewhat challenging and rigorous week when it comes to ministry. Because as a believer, as a follower of Christ, life is hard. The enemy's against you. There's challenges, even just life in general, Christian or non-Christian. But in the midst of some hard things, God has encouraged my heart through people, through being with people. So one example of that is this. Yesterday, sitting at the cafe and sitting down to a day of committed to writing a book, working on a new book on forgiveness, and I overhear a conversation next to me, a couple guys, I hear them talking about music, and so that catches my ear a little bit. And then the next thing you know, they're talking about worship music, and they're talking about organizing the logistics of a worship set and what they're going to say and what they're going to do. And so I decided to walk over and say, guys, what church are you a part of? And they told me what church they were part of. It's a church we're aware of and know of. That's a sister church, a church that we know. I know the pastor personally. And it turns out this guy's the worship leader to a new location near us, and he's sitting down with a young college kid that just moved here, and he's kind of mentoring him and growing him up and leading him in some pointers for the worship team. Now, all that to say, I was able to just say, hey, I'm a local believer, I'm a pastor, let me pray for you. So I prayed for him. Turns out that after coming to the same cafe the next day to do a little more work, ran into two more people actually sitting at the very same table, and was able to talk with them a little bit, encourage them. And he said, I heard that you met a guy yesterday that's actually my worship pastor, and he told me that you encouraged him by praying for him in public because he's been a little bit nervous to do so. And by you just being willing to pray for him right there on the spot, he was filled with encouragement, and then therefore was able to pray for me also in public. It was emboldening to him. That was incredible. Just simple things. Guys, here's all I want to say with this video. Be intentional. Be intentional with your relationships. God is opening doors all around you, and the question is just, are you going to walk through those for the sake of the gospel and the glory of God? Situations like that are hard for sure, right? We're not all people persons. Some of us are introverts, some of us are extroverts, but man, God is the same God yesterday, today, and forever. He's the same God who led Paul and Silas and Barnabas and Timothy into city after city to see the idols, to recognize what was going on around them, and to preach the gospel and to be a light for Christ. Don't stop that. Then, coming out of this very cafe today, saw a brother that I often see around a couple different communities, and he's handing out tracts. He's an older gentleman. He goes to a church in Augusta, Maine, and I think he forgot my face. You know, he's like, who's this guy? So he tries to hand me a tract again. I was like, brother, man, we've met before. I'm a follower of Christ. I'm in the faith, but keep doing what you're doing. And he just said, man, pray that God continues to allow people like him to be on the streets and freely preach the gospel. So again, another interaction, encouragement to him and encouragement to me as two brothers interact, and God is at work, guys. So thanks for watching this video. I'm really wanting to put more content on YouTube, guys. So if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I know some people don't watch, they kind of fade out after a few minutes, but look, subscribe to this video, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to put more content. Who knows what's going on with Facebook, and everybody's jumping ship to Parler and MeWe and all this stuff. I don't know what's going to happen with YouTube, but you know, for now, we'll just try to keep putting content wherever I can. And you know, if you guys subscribe, and well, then maybe you'll catch something that encourages you as well. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Have a wonderful day.